Hi, what I'm going to do in this session is to show you what you can do to clear the energy of a space that you've used for healing, and also how you prepare a space before you start healing. Most important of all is you have to have somewhere to send the negative and toxic energies that you're releasing from your patient. So one of the ways you can do that is to have a bowl of salty water. The best salt is sea salt. Sea salt is fantastic for drawing out toxins. You must have felt this when you've had a trip to the sea and had a swim. Not so good in England, of course, where the shock of the cold might do you more harm than the benefits of clearing. But I just put some water in the bowl and just add some sea salt. You don't need a lot, but it's enough. If it's in the room, it will just draw out of the atmosphere any toxic energies that you flick in when you clear the person you're working with. So then I will put that bowl down on the ground, down somewhere near where you're working. And if you are flicking and clearing, just throw the energy towards the bowl and it will absorb it. So salt to absorb the toxic energies. If you don't have salt and you don't have a bowl of water available, you can use crystals. Amethyst or clear quartz will also absorb any toxic energies, but you must make sure that you cleanse them yourself at least once a week if you're using them in a healing room. You cleanse them by immersing them in salt water 24 hours, or take them to the sea and cleanse them in the sea, or you can leave them out in a thunderstorm if you live somewhere where you have regular thunderstorms. Then after you cleanse your crystal, you need to charge it up. And you can charge up a crystal by putting it in sunlight. In moonlight is fantastic. And just allow the good energies to revitalize it, really. Because the crystal itself has got its own energy force. But you're just giving it a cleanse and a reboot, if you like. Okay, so before you start your day of healing or the next session you do for healing, make sure you've got the salt. And if you still haven't got salt and you haven't got crystal, just imagine that you've got a bowl of salty water and ask Archangel Michael to please transform any energies that you're clearing. Okay, that's a good start. Right, now what I'm going to show you next is a series of ways that you can clear the energy after you've had your healing session, either working for yourself or for somebody else. And it's something you can also do from time to time in your home, and I really recommend this. I tend to do quite a bit of distance healing on Sunday mornings, and Sunday mornings is my time to cleanse the house. Just have to watch out when you're doing some of these processes that you don't set off your fire alarms if you've got a fire alarm in your house, because they involve smoke, which we call smudging. Now, the first one is easy. It doesn't set any alarms off, and it's a cleanse and clear spray that I've evolved myself with Debbie Mulkern, who's an aromatherapist. This is available on my shop, on my website, Cleanse and Clear. Fabulous. It's organic, and there's no additives, and it's pure, and it consists of spring water with cedarwood, peppermint, and juniper, and sage. You can make your own setup if you want. You can make your own mix, but this is already set up for you, and it has got very high quality essential oils. So essential oils in spring water, and you just spray that around the room. Spray it around yourself. I spray myself after every session, just to make sure that my aura has been cleansed of any leftover energies from my client. even if you're doing your healing distance, it's still a good idea to cleanse the energies. Another way you can clear energies in a room is to use the symbols that the Buddhists use, and these send high vibrational sound through the room. So this is like cleansing with sound. And with this, you just go to the four corners of the room. Just allow the vibration of the symbols to fill the air. And again, you can use it on yourself to see the vibration running through. You can also buy bells that do a similar thing and gongs. So that's a way of cleansing the room by sound. Right. Now, I've just been given this gorgeous incense burner. I haven't seen one like this before. Most of the incense burners that I've used are in wooden boxes, or you put an incense in a little bowl. This is fantastic. I don't know where you get them. I'm sure if you go online you'll find them. It's come from India, and it's clever. It's got a little clip at the top which you push your incense stick into. So the incense stick is burnt here, but you push this into this clip, then you drop the incense stick in, set it alight, and then the smoke fills the room. And again, you can move it around the room. The best for cleansing with incense is frankincense or sandalwood. Those two, and you can get sage as well, but sandalwood is very popular in India as a way of cleansing. You can buy those online anywhere and in any Mind, Body and Spirit shop, crystal shops. Excuse me. So now we come to the one that is, to my mind, the most effective way of cleansing a room. You can use it for your whole house, you can use it for any space, you can use it for your workshop, your workspace, your working area, your office, your building. A guy who was a shaman, that's a qualified worker with energies, it comes from the native cultures. He said that he'd been taught ways to use frankincense, burning frankincense, and using that to smudge. And what he would do is he would set himself up and go around to offices and big corporations, and he could clear the energy of a big space. But more than just clearing the energy, he could tell where there were people who sat who were maybe not holding such a high vibration. Maybe they were angry, or maybe they weren't working positively for the company. And he could also tell if he had passed this, the smudging over accounts, files, he could tell which customers or which suppliers, more like it, which suppliers were cheating the company. And I asked him to do this for me in my company, which was an essential oil company, and he identified that one of our suppliers was overcharging us, cheating us as he called it, by the very way the smoke burnt as he went over their file. And we found out subsequently that he was absolutely right. So quite interesting what somebody who really knows what they're doing with frankincense can read from the smoke. What I'm suggesting you do here is keep it fairly simple, just use it to clear the air. But you will find as you go around with your smudging, you will notice that the smoke does change in various rooms and after certain situations. For example, if you've had a fight or an argument in your house, there'll be more thick smoke than there will be when everything's been peaceful. So, and I'm going to hope this all works very well, because sometimes these things don't light so well. But the first thing you need is a fireproof container. This is one specially made that was a gift to me from a fabulous company in Singapore, where they sell a lot of this stuff. So you put, the first thing you do is you put in the charcoal. This is a piece of charcoal. Again, you can buy these things online now. You put the charcoal in, then some pieces of frankincense, which I'm spraying everywhere. Frankincense is like the serum that comes out of trees. That's the actual frankincense tree. It's the sap that comes from the tree. Okay, so now I've put the frankincense on top of the charcoal. Now the idea is not to burn the frankincense, but to burn the charcoal. So I can hear it burning in there. And now I can smell the frankincense. It's got a lovely fragrance. I bought this frankincense from Oman on a visit there. It's absolutely supposed to be the very best in the world from there, southern Oman. And they sell it in the souk there, piles of it. Absolutely amazing. Of course, it costs quite a bit when you get it in your local shop. So what you're doing now is you're going to use the smoke, which is coming from the frankincense, and you're going to use it to smudge and clear the energy right through the room. And if you have a feather, particularly your feather, which isn't so easy to come by, but if you do happen to have one, use that to waft the smoke into all parts of the room, especially over the area where you do your healing. This is a wonderful thing to do, and I suggest you do this at least once a month in your home and at least once a week in your healing room. Okay, it's well and truly away now. So I'll just leave that down there. Okay, so frankincense, the very best thing. Some people prefer sage, dried sage, which is a herb. I'm not particularly fond of the fragrance of sage, but it is easy enough to get hold of, and it's not as expensive as frankincense. And again, we're going to use it to smudge, so we light the bundle of sage. This is used by North American Indians. Now, you don't want flame, but what you're looking for is this smouldering. Okay, I can see it smouldering. I'm being very smart here, because I'm using an abalone shell, which was the traditional way that the North American Indians used when they're using their smudging. So again, now you can smudge people, and you can smudge furniture. Second-hand furniture will always come with a residue of energies of the person who's owned it before. And remember that if anybody has an argument, or they're worried or sick, their energy will flow into the objects in a room. So second-hand furniture will have absorbed a lot of energy from the previous owners. It's always a good idea. And if you're moving into digs, if you're a student and you're moving into digs which other people have used or shared, excellent idea to smudge the room. Now the idea is you do this so that you don't get bits flying off everywhere, because it has got a habit of having little bits drop off. So just use, if you obviously haven't got a shell, just use a bowl, just something to protect it, okay? So smudge people, furniture, rooms, second-hand car. If you buy a second-hand car, smudge the car. anything where the energies are not are ones that you've created and which you may find a bit toxic. So I think that's all I'm going to cover from today. But this is something you need to do, as I say, regularly in your healing room and clearing your home. Thank you.